Okay, so our topic for this video is law on secrecy of bank deposits at saka PDIC law. Okay. Okay, so let's start first with secrecy of bank deposits, or also is also known as RA 1405. So what's the purpose of this law? Okay, the purpose of this law is to encourage the people to deposit their money in banking institutions and to discourage private hoarding in order to be utilized by banks, authorize loans to assist in economic development of the government. Okay. So what are the prohibited acts? So the prohibited acts is that when a bank will disclose to any person other than the bank director or employee authorized by the bank any information concerning deposit. So take note, ang sinabi niya dito, hindi pwedeng i-disclose ng mga banks to any other person other than the bank director at saka employee authorized by the bank. So, hindi lahat po ng employees ng bank ay authorized para sumilip ng laman ng bank account ng isang tao. Like for example, kayo ay may kakilala sa BPI. Okay? Yung BPI nakakilala ninyo is an accountant. Okay? Ang accountant, hindi po yan sumisilip ng bank account ng isang tao. For the sake na gusto niya ipasilip yung laman ng bank account ng nanay ninyo. Okay? Kasi yung accountant, hindi naman siya authorized ng bank para sumilip ng bank account ng mga tao. Okay? Tapos ibibigay niya yun sa inyo, hindi pwede yun. Magiging liable siya under sa secrecy bank, magiging liable siya in violation of the secrecy of bank deposits law natin. Okay? It is also prohibited for any person, including the government, to inquire, examine, or to look into bank deposits or bond issued by the government. So, kung titignan po natin yung reason behind the secrecy of bank deposits, it also is linked to our constitutional right to privacy. Okay, so meron tayong constitutional right to privacy. Hindi lahat ng mga ari-arian natin is pwede nating open to sa public. Okay? So, ano yung mga deposits na covered dito? All deposits, whatever nature with banks or banking institution in the Philippines, including yung mga trust accounts. Yung, when you say trust accounts, like for example, meron kang ward or meron kang minor under your care, tas may mga naiwan na bank account or pera yung kanyang mga magulang, tapos yung ikaw yung nagmamanage ng trust account na yon. Para yun doon sa bata, hindi yun para sa'yo. Investment in bonds issued by the government of the Philippines, all its political division and its instrumentalities. So exceptions to the general rule na hindi pwedeng mag-disclose to any person ng information concerning deposits. Number one, when there is a permission of the depositor. Ikaw mismo as a depositor, waive mo yung right mo against the privacy nitong iyong bank accounts. Pangalawa, during impeachment cases. And pangatlo, order of competent court. Okay? Lalo na kapag ang mga kaso ay yung bribery, money deposited or invested is subject to litigation, unexplained wealth, and eto, punta muna tayo sa number 3. Pag sinabing bribery, panunuhol po ito sa mga public officials. So part ng evidence will be kailangan malaman kung nasaan yung pera na tinanggap ng public officials. Letter B, where the money deposited is subjected to litigation. For example, may kasong estafa, hinahanap kung saan yung mga na-scam na pera. Siyempre, titingnan mo yung bank account, di ba? Saan ba isi-save yan? Alangan namang isi-save lang yan. Kunwari, milyones yung kanyang na-estafa. Ilalagay lang yan dun sa loob ng rice cooker, di ba? Tinago lang doon. Hindi pwede. Usually, merong account na tinitignan. At minsan kasi gumagawa sila ng mga fictitious account na tinatawag natin. Letter C, unexplained wealth. O, di ba yung kay kapag kinakasuhan ng anti-graft and corruption practices, yun, kailangan ipakita mo kasi lalo na sa mga government officials and employees, ano po sila, required silang gumawa ng statement of liabilities and net worth or yung kanilang SALN. Okay? Inquiry of the BIR Commissioner, net state of the deceased depositor. So, ano bang ginagawa ni CIR? Okay. So, ito po, settlement po ito nung naiwan ng isang namatay o namatay na depositor. Kailangan kasi bago ma-transfer yung properties nung namatay na depositor, kailangan magbabayad muna siya ng tinatawag nating estate tax. So, para malaman ng Commissioner on BIR na tama yung binabayaran na estate tax for the naiwang mana, syempre kailangan niya ng proof. Okay? Proof na ito lang yung laman ng bank account. Okay. Next, upon order of the competent court in proper cases by AMLC or anti-money laundering. Okay? Anti-money laundering means na galing sa illegal yung pera tapos ginagamit mo siya for a ginagawa mo siyang legal. Okay? Nilolaundry. 'Di ba? Pag nilolaundry mo ang isang labahin, nililinis mo yung labahin. So, ganun po yung anti-money laundering. In other module, mapag-aaralan natin yan. Okay. So, for reports, kailangan din po ng hindi po covered ng violation ng bank secrecy law yung mga reports natin for unclaimed balances at saka yung required na i-report ng mga groups na under AMLC. Okay? Number 7, Ombudsman has the power to issue subpoena and the subpoena duces tecum, take testimony in investigation. Pag sinabi nating ombudsman po, ito po yung nangangasiwa para sa mga kaso against government officers and employees. Okay, so related yan doon sa na-discuss natin kanina dito sa may bribery at saka dereliction ng public officials para makita niya na may basis yung kaso. Okay? Examination by law enforcement in terrorism cases. Okay. So yung examination na tinatawag po dito should be done by the monetary board ng BSP. Pwedeng gawin din ng PDIC, Commission on Audit para sa mga government subsidiaries at saka PCGG para doon sa mga ill-gotten wealth ni former President Marcos. Yung PCGG po, isa po yung group na ang naging trabaho ay mag-imbestiga lang doon sa nakaw na yaman daw ni President Ferdinand Marcos. Daw ang ginamit ko kasi unfortunately wala pa naman silang napapatunayan hanggang ngayon. Okay? And then, examination is made by an independent auditor. So, in your audit theory, natutunan ninyo na kailangan is magbigay kayo ng opinion para ma-sure na going concern pa yung isang entity, 'di ba? So, para malaman nyo kung going concern pa yung entity, bibigyan kayo ng rights na ni auditee na i-check yung kanilang bank accounts, 'di ba? Pero babalik 'yan doon sa number 1, merong written permission ng depositor. Okay? Exceptions for the foreign currency deposits, yung disclosure ng bank secrecy law is number 1, when there is consent ng depositor. Number 2, Anti-Money Laundering Act. Kasi po sa Anti-Money Laundering Act, usually, yung pera po galing sa ibang bansa. Okay? At dinadala nila dito. Okay? Para maiwasan yung tingin or yung pagdududa ng mga pulis sa international arena or sa ibang countries pag nilipat yan dito sa Pilipinas. At as if parang walang nangyari, di ba? Kunwari pag may foreign nationals ba na pumunta dito, tatanungin mo, saan ba nanggaling yung pera niya? Di ba hindi naman? Mas concerned tayo kung bakit yumaman ng isang Pilipino compared sa kung magkano yung dala ng isang foreign national. So, ang purpose po ng anti-money laundering is sila yung nagmo-monitor. Kaya minsan, pag kayo po ay pupunta sa ibang bansa, hindi kayo pwedeng magdala ng sobrang daming pera lalo na pag magbabakasyon kayo. Tinatanong kung magkano yung dala ninyong pera kasi kapag masyadong malaki, it's as if may purpose ka, 'di ba? Nagdala ka ng isang buong briefcase, puro pera 'yon, 'di ba? May purpose ka other than vacationing. Okay? So, your purpose might be illegal or ang purpose mo is to do money laundering. Okay, so iniiwasan po yan. Tinatanong po yan sa pagdating ninyo sa immigration sa ibang bansa. Okay? Kaya hindi dapat masyadong malaki yung dala ninyo. Okay. Next, garnishment. So, garnishment, when you say garnishments, pinapahold or ina-apply yung laman ng bank account dun sa utang ng isang debtor. Okay? So, technically, ang garnishment is not a violation of bank secrecy law kasi sa garnishment, hindi naman po dinidisclose kung magkano yung laman ng bank account. Okay? So, deposits exempt from garnishment, number 1, foreign currency deposits. Number 2, those exempt by the rules of court. Okay. Next, punta naman tayo sa PDIC. Main concepts lang po yung i-discuss natin yung kailangan ninyo for the CPA board exam. Sa PDIC, sino ba si PDIC? Dali. Si PDIC po ay si Philippine, ano ba ang acronym natin for PDIC? Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation. Okay? So, anong purpose ni PDIC? Number 1, deposit insurer. Number 2, co-regulator ng banks. And number 3, receiver and liquidator of closed banks. So, first, deposit insurer. So, kapag kayo po ay nag-deposit sa bangko at biglang nag-close yung bangko, si PDIC po ang magbabayad ng inyong deposits na na-forfeit ng closed banks. Pangalawa, co-regulator ng banks. Co-regulator, because they are empowered and to examine and investigate banks. Number 3, kapag nagsara po yung closed bank, sila yung magiging receiver or liquidator. Natutunan natin yan from your FRIA. Ang ibig sabihin ng receiver or liquidator, sila ang authorized ng court para mag-dispose ng assets nung nagsarang bank. Okay. So, insured deposits, any amount due to any bona fide depositor for legitimate purpose in an insured bank net of any obligation of the depositor to the insured bank as of the date of closure but not to exceed 500,000. So, ito po yung nakikita ninyo pag pumupunta kayo sa bangko na PDI, member of PDIC yung bank, nakalagay yan sa sticker sa labas ng bangko at or meron yung mga ang tawag ito, parang cardboard sa harap ng kanilang teller na nakalagay na PDIC member sila. So, kapag nag-deposit kayo doon ng more than 500,000 at biglang nagsara yung bangko, you are entitled only up to 500,000. Okay? So, yun po yung inyong limit per depositor. Okay? So, paano naman ma'am kung matalino ko, kunwari meron akong 1 million pesos. So, pupunta ako sa BDO, gagawa ko dalawang bank account. Tig 500,000 yun. Okay, 500,000 si bank account A, 500,000 si bank account B. Pwede ba ako makapag-claim ng tig 500,000 sa kanila? The answer is no. Ang makukuha mo lang kasi isang bank lang ang pinagdepositohan mo eh. Okay? Isang bank account lang at saka isang tao ka lang, ang makukuha mo lang will be 500,000 for your both bank accounts. Okay? Kasi parang, ang ginawa mo purposely para makarami ka ng claims kay PDIC, in-split mo yung payment, yung iyong deposits, no? Hindi pwede yun. Okay. Next, adjustment of maximum deposit insurance. Currently, ang maximum deposit insurance is again at 500,000. Okay. Mag-adjust yan if the monetary board has determined that there is a condition that threatens the monetary and financial stability of the bank. Sino ba si monetary board? Si monetary board po ay isang isang division po yan ng Department of Finance. Pangalawa, approval of the unanimous Board of Directors of PDIC in a meeting called for the purpose chaired by the DOF Secretary. And pangatlo, kailangan ng approval from the President. Okay. Next, systemic risk. When you say systemic risk, it refers to the possibility of failure of one bank to settle net transaction that will affect other banks and will create a chain reaction wherein yung other banks, wala na silang pangpondo. Kumbaga, domino effect ang systemic risk. Okay? So, ano bang coverage ng ating PDIC Act? The deposit liabilities of any bank or banking institution which is engaged in business of receiving deposits as her defined effective date of PDIC Act. Okay, so ang mga deposits, nabanggit natin kanina, all deposit accounts. Pero meron tayo mga exception to the rule. Number 1 is splitting of the deposit. Ito yung diniscuss natin kanina sa inyo. Bakit may ruler? Hindi ko alam ba't may rula. Oh, yan. Splitting of the deposit. So, pag sinabi natin splitting of the deposit, isang tao ka, pinaghiwalay mo into 2 bank account yung 1 million pesos para 1 million din babalik sa'yo. Hindi pwede yun. Okay? Next, deposit products or money placement by the head office of a foreign bank in its branch. Pangalawa, proceeds of unlawful activity. Hindi rin yan subject sa insurance na binibigay ng PDIC. Lalo na yung mga pera na galing sa laundering. Okay? Pang-apat, payable in place outside the Philippines like those foreign branches. Panglima, deposit accounts transactions which are unfunded or fictitious or fraudulent. Okay? Yung kunwarian lang. Okay? Pwede pa ba yan ngayon? Sa panahon ngayon, I don't think meron pa niyan. Okay? Number 7, investment products. Okay. So, determination ng amount due, as I've mentioned, kung ang deposit mo sa isang bangko ay 250,000, you can claim the 250,000. If your deposit is 500 pesos and 500,000, you can claim the 500,000. If your deposit in one bank is 600,000, you can claim 500,000. So, ang usapan natin dito per each bank ha. Hindi yan, kunwari, meron kang bank kay BPI. Ma'am, paano pag ibang branch? Branch A, branch B. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito per bank. So, kahit basta parehong BPI yan, kahit na branch yan ng Santa Rosa at yung isa Binyan, combined, magkano ba yung claims mo doon? Okay, up to 500K ka lang. So, ano ba, para maiwasan natin yung risk na ma-forfeit yung mga pera natin ng more than 500,000, i-deposit nyo po sa magkaibang bangko. Okay? Kung may 1 million kang namana sa magulang mo, 500 lagay mo kay BPI, 500 lagay mo kay BDO. Okay? Para lahat yun covered ng PDIC. Okay? So, paano naman kapag may joint accounts? Ma'am, gumawa kami joint account ng boyfriend ko. So, kunwari, yung laman ng bank account namin, 1 million pesos. 500,000 ba sa akin? 500,000 sa kanya? The answer is no. Kunwari, yung laman ninyo, joint bank account ninyo is 1 million pesos. 500 lang makaklaim ninyo doon. Pero yung 500 na yun, paghahatian niyo pang dalawa. Okay? Kasi joint claimer kayo eh. 250 sa'yo, 250 sa kanya. Okay? Ma'am, paano kapag meron kang joint deposit tapos meron kang individually owned na bank account? O, meron kayong bank account ng jowa mo. Ang laman nun will be 500,000 pesos. Tapos meron ka ring sariling bank account kasi nagdududa ka na magiging kayo forever, kaya naging playing safe ka. Maglagay ka sa savings account mo ng 300,000. So, meron kang claim na 500,000 dun sa joint account ninyo. Meron ka ding claim up to 500,000 sa personal account mo. So, in this case, 500,000 ang mapupunta sa joint account. Sa example natin kaninang savings mo ay 300K. Pag nag-close din yon, another 300K. So, you will have, kung parehong sinagad mo yung 500K, you will have a maximum insurance of 1 million pesos. Okay? So, procedure for the PDIC, kailangan malaman nila na talagang close na talaga yung bank at saka it shall give notice to the depositor of the closed bank. Huwag kayong magpapanik kasi again, insured naman kayo. Insured yung mga pera ninyo. And then the PDIC will publish notice once a week for at least 3 consecutive weeks in a newspaper of general circulation. Certificate of deposit. Ano ba na naman ito? Okay. No owner or holder or any negotiable certificate of deposit shall be recognized by as a depositor entitled to the rights in PDIC unless his name is registered as owner of such account. Okay? So hindi pwedeng i-claim ni Pedro ang bank account ni Juan. Okay? Period for the depositor to file and enforce claim 2 years from actual takeover ng closed bank at saka 2 years after the 2-year period to file a claim. Okay. Proof of claim, syempre kailangan po ng PDIC na meron kayong proof na kayo yung owner ng bank account. Okay? What else? Modes of payment, it should be paid by cash or pwedeng gawan kayo ng another bank account doon sa another bank wherein yun yung nag-absorb ng depositor ng isang bangko. Like for example, tingnan natin. Ang current na nagsarang bangko ngayon, actually nagsara siya because of a merger, is yung PS Bank. Tama ba? PS Bank. I think it's PS Bank, yes. PS Bank is now owned by BPI. So kapag kayo ay depositor ng PS Bank, malilipat po sa BDO yung inyong bank account. Ganon din, I think I remember Citibank, inabsorb siya ng Union Bank. Okay? Withholding of payment, so PDIC may withhold yung inyong claim sa insurance deposit kung kaduda-duda po yung inyong bank account. Okay? Effect of payment ng PDIC. So pag binayaran ni PDIC yung mga depositors ng isang closed bank, the PDIC will be subrogated to the rights ng depositor against the bank. So si PDIC na ngayon yung hahabol dito kay bangko. Okay? Si PDIC na po yung hahabol na sa bangko. Next. So once yung mga payments ng PDIC will be considered as public funds at yung reimbursement niyan from the closed bank will be considered as if same priority sa pagbabayad ng taxes sa national government. So, period for the filing for the PDIC to settle claims is 6 months from the date of filing ng claims ninyo. Okay. So, yun lang po ang main points natin for PDIC at saka bank secrecy law.